Hey guys, in this session let us learn how to parse a particular log file with the help of date to get the number of read log switches in a database. So we are going to use shell script to parse the log file and count the number of log switches. Okay. So the important thing that is required here is date, right? Since AlertLog contains date in a particular format. Okay, so there are a lot of date formats. So in Oracle, so there will be a particular format. So we need to make sure that, so we need to parse the date inside the AlertLog file with the help of date command. Okay, so we need to read the AlertLog file and fetch only the particular date when the log switch happened, and we are going to count the number of log switches at that particular time. Okay, so first we start the script. Okay, then what we do, so we declare a lot of variables. Okay, like yesterday, today, last 1 hour. Okay, so these three basic variables we are going to declare. So for yesterday we will be using date command, and today also we will be using date command, and for last 1 hour we will be using date command. So we will be declaring these variables first, okay, and store the values of the variables inside these variable names. Okay, so then we need to parse the log file. Okay, so for that either we can use if else statement or we can use case. So case is an effective way to use some conditions similar to if statement. Okay, so what I will do is I will just use case statement and use these variables inside the case statement. So if it is yesterday, then what? If it is yesterday, then with the help of this date command, so say for example this is a particular date, just consider that this is a format, date format, something like this, and it is printed in the AlertLog, and there is a log switch at that particular date at particular time, say for example 9 AM. So here with the help of case statement, since I have already used the date command inside this variable, so I will be comparing the value inside this variable with this particular date format. Okay, so if this variable contains the particular date on yesterday, so this information like day, month and year will be same. Okay, so it keep on change. Since yesterday, so yesterday there will be a date, right, in Linux. So by default, if you use date command, it will show you the today's date. So from today's date, what will be the yesterday's date? So that's how it calculates, right? So date will not be constant every time in Linux. So if if my date changes to December 23 December, then my yesterday's date would be 22nd December, right? So likewise, if it is 23rd October, then it will be 22nd October. So date keep on changing, and so on, the variable as well. So inside this variable, it will be dynamic. So I will not be storing any constant values or static values. Okay. So when I execute the script, whatever date it is inside this variable, -1. So which means, so if my today's date is 23rd December 2023 inside this variable, so from this date -1, which means 22nd December. So we don't need to manually control all these things. Automatically, if I just give a value inside this, it will take the yesterday's date. That's it, from today's date. So likewise, today's date is default, so we already know that. So if you use date command, we'll be able to get today's date, but only thing is the format. So what is the format inside the alert log? That is very important, so that we will be comparing that date with the alert log date, and we will be fetching the log switches. That's it. So if it is Y, then yesterday's date, and if it is today, T, it is today's date. So this is just a variable. Okay, you can declare any variable like X or A or B or anything. You can also declare as yesterday or today, like this. It is not only that you need to declare T, Y. Okay, so then L means last 1 hour. Last 1 hour, how many log switches happened? So likewise, we can use lot of options like last 6 hours, last 12 hours. Okay, I'm just giving you a basic level of parsing the log file. So if there are no log switches, so if log switches are found with this, so I will be using wc-l to count the number of log switches, and inside the alert log file we will be having this word called log switch. So whenever we manually switch the log file, we will be able to see this particular word. So with this word, I will be counting the number of log switches. Okay, so then so if there are no log switches, then it will be 0. So if there are certain log switches, then n will be the value. So n number of log switches. So then our script will be ended. Okay, so let me just show you how we can do this. So here we have a particular format. So this is the format which is stored in the alert log. Okay, so if I just give date command, I am getting today's date with the time and time zone, year. So when I check the alert log, this is too old alert log. Okay, so what I will do is I will just copy the recent alert log to the current directory. So we are going to compare this particular date format with the variable that we had declared, right? So we will be fetching the records till the number of hours in a particular date, right? So here it is 6 hours, so I need to compare with the hour 6, but I cannot compare these details. So every minute it will be frequently changing, but hour will not frequently change, right? So it take almost 60 minutes for an hour to change, but for minute it will change for every 60 seconds. So if we want to fetch the last 1 minute details of log switch, then we can go for minute. Okay, but usually we check the log switch details for hour, right? So if the problem is too granular, if it is too small, right? So within 1 minute, if there are 1000 log switches, say for example, then we can parse the log file with the help of minute. Okay, so but in this session I will just show you for hours. Okay, so let us just create a shell script called log switch parse. So first what we have to do, we need to declare variables, right? So I will just declare a variable called y, which is yesterday, and give the date. So I have already recorded the format over here. Okay, so this is the format. -d yesterday. Okay, so likewise for today and last 1 hour. So for today we can use today. So this is a keyword which will be recognized by this date command. Okay, if I give yesterday, then it will check, it will just subtract from the today's date, so -1 from today's date, right? One hour ago. So let me just execute these commands and check if I get the relevant output or not. Okay, so you can see that today's date is 27. So I get yesterday's date when I give this keyword yesterday, right? So this is an argument inside the date command itself. So if I just say today, then it is giving today's date, right? Or I can directly execute like this. Both are same. Here in yesterday's date, it has subtracted from today's date, it has subtracted 1, so which is today's date -1. So that's the reason I got 26 for yesterday. So likewise 1 hour ago. So 1 hour ago means, so the last 1 hour. Okay, so what is the time? So time is 7. So it will show for 6. Okay, so if I just remove these formats, I got 6 over here, right? So if I just add this alert log and grep with this particular time, so head 1, you can see that when I just grep with this particular format, I am able to parse the alert log with this format, right? So this is a variable, just consider inside the shell script. So inside this variable I will be seeing this particular date, and this date will be compared with the alert log state. That's it. So that's how we are going to fetch the number of log switches. So now let me just go to the shell script. So we have already declared all these variables which are required to compare the dates between this variable and alert log file. Now let us use while loop, okay, to loop the information and compare all the information between the alert log file and the variables. So for that I will be using get opts. So get opts is a Linux distribution which is supported by a community, and this is kind of an utility, okay, so where we can use based on the requirements, okay. So this format can be used for anything, so not only for log switch parsing from the log file, you can also use if you want to check the number of checkpoint activities in the database, we can use the same script for that as well, okay. Only the format is same, but the steps involved will be different, right? So if we want to fetch the backup details like hard backup, so alter database begin backup will be printed in the alert log. So if we want to fetch those details as well, we can fetch, okay. This is not only for log switch, but this current session I will show you how to fetch log switch details. So for get opts we need to specify some arguments, okay. So these are by default. For whatever problem that you are going to use get opts, you need to specify some arguments like this, okay. And we are going to store the information inside an argument called x. You can declare anything like y or l, anything, okay. So I am just giving x, okay, and I am having all the information in these variables like yesterday's data, today's data, and last 1 hour data, okay. So if I just use the while loop, then do. So do what? So here we are going to use case statement, okay, and we are going to use this x variable. What I'm saying is, so if the information which is parsed from the alert log is similar to this date variable, so I'm just comparing the date format between alert log and this variable, okay. So first I'm giving y, which is yesterday's data. So then what? So then I have to use egrep hyphen A10 and then followed by the alert log location. So I need to give the variable first, so which is yesterday, right? So I have AlertLog over here. So this is the AlertLog, okay. So then further I will grep with this format. So what I will do is I will just copy the latest AlertLog file from the directory. So before that, let me just do a log switch manually. Okay, since this database is not busy, I will not be able to see any log switches in the database. So let me just start the database. And do a log switch. Now let me copy the AlertLog file in the current directory. Okay. Let me go inside the script. So this is how I'm going to fetch the number of log switches. So I will be using wc-l to count the number of log switches. So now let me just execute this particular command. So let me just give the date format. This is the date format. So here instead of $y, I am just going to use this particular command inside grep. So here we can see that there are 16 counts with this particular date format, right? So I just need to fetch the log switches for this particular date. So let me just check the keyword. So this is the keyword. Okay, so if there is a log switch happening in the database, then this particular keyword will be printed in the log file. Okay, so let me again grep with the keyword. So here you can see that there are 2 log switches happened today. Okay, so if I just use -d 1 hour ago, again it shows 2. So log switch happened in the last 1 hour. So there are 2 log switches in the last 1 hour, right? So if DBA needs an urgent information on the number of log files, number of log switches in the database, then he can directly execute this shell script to get an idea on the log switches. So this may not be accurately showing the results, but it will give an approximate estimate of the number of log switches. Okay, so now I will substitute this keyword over here and close this particular case statement, right? So then let me just close the loop and test if this work or not. I need to give argument as y. Okay, since I have used get opts, I have to use arguments in the script, then only I will be able to fetch the results. Okay, so here I have given yesterday's date, so let me just give today's date and test if this work or not. Yeah, so when I just give the argument as 1, so here you can give any number. Okay, the thing is you need to give some arguments over here, that's it. So if you give any number, you will get the number of log switch results. Okay, so even if I give 100, I will get only 2 as the number of log switch. But if you don't give any arguments, it will throw error. So that's the reason you need to give some arguments. So now I am able to get the number of log switches for today. So likewise, let me fetch it for yesterday. The same command, I am just repeating it, and instead of t I will give y. That's it. So let me close this command. So now for last 1 hour, so here I will be substituting L. So this is the variable, right? And then I will close this statement. So now if anything else, so if anything else means question mark, then what? Echo so here the condition is, so if I give any other arguments except t, y or l, so this is kind of else in if else condition. So in if else condition, so if else statement, so what we do, if I give something, then you have to print this particular result, right? So if I do something, so if this particular condition is correct, so if 1 is equal to 1, so something like this, then do this, then do what? So just print the number. So I'm just giving you a simple example, right? So else means apart from this condition, if anything else, right, happens, then do this. So this is if else statement. So likewise we are using else condition in case statement, so which is question mark. Okay, so now let me just close this condition. Okay, so let me just give some argument called h. So when I use -h, I am getting this particular information saying that invalid option, give correct argument, either -t, -l or -y. Right now the question mark part has been executed, right? So here I have given, if these options are not chosen, then you have to print this part is executed, right? So now whoever execute this script, if we give the wrong argument, he will be able to understand what is happening, right? Also we need to give comments for everything that we do, right? So I will not be typing any comments in any of the sessions, but whenever you are writing any script, it is a good practice to comment on the definition of that particular step which you have used in the script. So here I have declared variables. So what I will do, variable declared for dates of yesterday, today and last 1 hour. So that whoever used this script will understand what you are doing, right? Here, fetch the log switch details for a given time period from AlertLog. Okay, so we can also give comments for individual steps as well. Okay, but my job is to help you understand the script. Okay, I will not be using comments on all the sessions. Okay, but you have to comment the individual steps that you are doing for better understanding. Okay, so now if I just give -y1, so it is giving 0. Yesterday there was no log switch. So if I give L, which is last 1 hour, so last 1 hour there were 2 log switches. Okay, so this is how we can parse the AlertLog file and get the number of log switches, and this format can be used for any problem. So if I need to calculate the number of checkpoint activities, right, and if I need to calculate the number of shutdowns in my database, so whatever information which is present inside the AlertLog, right, everything can be counted. Or if any other information, like if any background process is down for a particular amount of time, so you can just check, you can just parse the particular time, and then check if there are any processes which are down or not, right? You cannot limit yourself with this particular script. You can do unlimited stuffs with this particular script, right? Also you can use minutes as well. So here I have given hour, so you can use minutes. So if how many log switches happened in the last 1 minute, so for like that also you can do it. And you need to find and research the date format for minutes, right? So there are a lot of things that can be done, even for seconds as well, even for last 1 week, last 1 month, and last 1 year, right? So these are the basic format details that I have given you. Okay. Also make sure that you are switching the log files, and once you switch the log files, those things are recorded in the AlertLog file. So if we now go to the AlertLog file, if I am not manually switching the log files, okay, so then you have to check if this particular keyword is used or not. Okay, if this particular keyword is not used, then you need to research what else keyword that can be used to fetch the log file. Okay, so here I can see that log switch has happened on this particular log file. So I can also print the log file as well. So on which log file I got the log switch, right?